Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls, coming to you from the West Coast. Today I wanted to share a very fast, simple, but really pretty thank you card that I made. It's 4x6. It's a little bit smaller than a lot of the cards that I tend to make. Fairly flat, so it would mail easily. It's using the Blooming Daisy Bouquet die set from In Love Arts. Super easy and quick to go together. Cards in minutes. I love it. Let me show you how it's made. So to start, it's a 4x6 card, and I cut a yellow layer that's 4x6, and I didn't cut it. Usually I cut it a little bit smaller so I have a white background. Because this is such a light yellow, I didn't want a white background, so I cut it to exactly 4x6. And then I cut a white piece of card. It's just plain white card that is just about 1/4 inch smaller, and I'm just going to mat and layer those up. Actually, I'm not going to put that white one on yet because I'm going to stamp a sentiment on it. So let me go ahead and do that. And I've got, just making a little thank you card, and I'm going to put my thank you kind of down towards the bottom. And this piece is going to sit over here, so I want to get my, I want to kind of imagine that on there so that I can get my sentiment where I want it. It's going to go right there. And I've just got this Harmony Water Reactive Quick Dry ink. It's a smoked pearl, which is kind of a dark gray. And I like it because it's not as harsh as a black. So I like the softness of it. Now I can mat that white card on there. This card just comes together in minutes. If you had a colored card base, you wouldn't even need to put that extra layer on. Or if you didn't want to do the extra layer, you don't have to. And then I've got a yellow piece of card, and this is 2x5. And I'm going to put that right here. Okay. But I'm going to hold on to that for a second because I'm going to actually raise it up with some foam tape in a minute. I've got this piece of card that is 1 3/4 by 4 3/4. So it's just, 1/4 inch smaller than this yellow, and that's going to mat on top of that yellow. But I ran it through an embossing folder, and I ran it through this Spellbinders embossing folder, and you can see that it's got a bunch of florals, but I wanted this print, this type up here. So I just put my card up there and skipped the florals. And I'm going to do some inking just to give it a little bit of interest. And I've got Lemon Tonic Harmony Water Reactive ink, and I'm just going to go over it very softly. I just want to kind of pick up some of that embossing. And I don't want it solid yellow. I don't want it solid white. I just kind of want a nice soft color that gives me some interest. And that looks pretty good. And it's going to go on top of that yellow mat. And then I cut these flowers. This is from In Love Arts, called the Blooming Daisy Bouquet. And I cut the stems and the leaves out of some green. And then I cut the flowers out of some lilac Centura Pearl. And I cut each flower twice. And then I've got these are like cone flowers. And then I cut the centers twice as well out of this printed cardstock. And I'm going to layer these centers up. So each of the flowers I cut twice, and on one of them I took my Illustrator, this is an alcohol marker, it's called Orchid, it's light violet. And basically just on the top layer, I took my pen and I just kind of created some dark streaks from the top going out towards the ends of the petals. Just a few. It's kind of random. And then I'm going to layer the inked set of petals on top of the non-inked ones. And I'm going to offset them just a tiny bit. Like that. Okay. You can see that it's offset just a little bit, and it makes that flower just look a little fuller, and I liked the looks of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my center on there. There's one flower, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the other 3 flowers. And you don't have to double them up. I thought it looked nice, just to give it a little more, the petals just look a little rufflier. So there's all my flowers. And now I'm just going to go ahead and build the bouquet on the card. I usually like to try and build them first, without any glue, just to see how it looks. And you can put your flowers, honestly, wherever you want them. You don't have to follow the picture, because in the picture, the largest flower is over here. But because of the way my card is, I wanted the larger flower over there. And we're all done. Like I said, this card goes together super quick, really fast, but super simple and pretty. Nice 4x6 card with some really pretty blooming daisy bouquet. A little bit of embossed background just for some interest. And you're all done.